Hello. Okay. So in today's session, we are going to see uh, how to use extended rules and how to create temp variables or temp fields in EDI file. Okay. So I will be using this map that we created in one of previous sessions. Okay. And now, we know this map was working because we updated couple of things, right? So after updating iterations or the loop, it was working, right? So to make it working, what I did, I make the number of iteration of this segment in the input side and the number of iterations on this employee element same. But say suppose you have some scenario, right, where you are not allowed to uh, change the number of iterations. Say suppose, I'm just taking an example for you to make this thing clear to demo this. So say suppose in you have scenario where it's very restricted that the employee element in the output file employee tag or element cannot repeat more than 5, right? And you are also not allowed to change the input file iteration. The number of times this segment will repeat here. You are not allowed to change. So if you have this kind of scenario, right, then you will not able to link input side to output side. If you do this, you will get this error, right? So in this case, what you have to do is you have to create a temp variable. Okay. And we will create a temp variable and a temp segment. Actually, in this case, I will create a temp segment, and then I will create the temporary fields in that segment, and then I will be linking my temporary fields to the output. And then using the extender rule, I will assign values in that temporary field, right? So that they get populated on the output side. So how we will do this? Let's see. Click on this segment, insert element, temp underscore user. Okay. Okay. So we will be using this tag. Okay. Name tag, and the key field is not required. Looping. Now in the looping, you can use the same number of loop count as it is in the output side. Okay, as it is in the output side. So like this. Okay. Now input side, this temp variable can repeat 5 times, and the output side also employee element can repeat 5 times. Now we can do the mapping, but before we do the mapping, we have to create these fields inside this segment, temp segment that we just now created. Okay. So to do that, you can manually create them, but I do not like to do it manually. So what I will do is I will copy it from the user segment, and I will paste it here at the temp segment. Okay, like this. Okay, so now I have temporary segments and the fields inside that segment. Okay, save it. Next, you can go ahead and link fields in this uh, temp temp segment to the output elements. Name will go to the name, last name will go to Last name, age will go to age, account number will go to employee ID, contact number, and you have a number will go to uh, number, and the type will be connected to attribute. uh, oh, it is not right. I have to unlink this. So type will go to the attribute type, and the number will be connected to contact number. So this one. Okay. So now my output fields are connected to temporary segment, right? So this so far is good. Now next challenge is how you are how these temporary fields, how these temp fields going to get the values, because your translator will populate these fields, like right. Your translator will populate these fields. It will not populate temporary field, correct? It cannot be. It has to be 0, right? Because temporary fields, if you specify 1 for the temporary field, then you will get the compilation errors, right? Because in the input file, your temporary record will never exist. You will not have any segment with dollar dollar dollar, right? So your compiler will give you error saying this mandatory segment is missing in the input file, and we do not want that. Okay, so you have to make it as optional so that your translator ignore this segment. It does not validate this segment. Okay, so this is important. Okay, and when you create this temporary segment, you can use some tag, anything that you will never expect in the input file, right? So the convention is dollar 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 in case of any other file types except XML. In case of XML, you have seen we use the XXXX as a tag value for the to create the temp records, right? Now next thing is how you will populate these temp fields or temp elements, because translator will not populate these fields, right? It will populate fields that are the part of your user segment, because segment is the segment that you will get in your input file, and the segment's name or segment tag will be user123, right? This, like this. Okay, so how you will deal with this now? So again, we have to do the same thing that we did in the XML. We have to write some extended rule, and we have to assign values from our segment, from these fields, to temporary segment fields here. Okay, so now let's see how we do this. Okay, so again, because I have to loop this temp user segment, right? And I want my loop counter to initialize and create it only and only once during the existence or execution of this map. So I have to create that um, counter in the session rules. Okay, so you will create it like this: integer is equal to 1. Okay, okay. Next, now I have counter. I will go to my segment tag, or segment, and I will click on the extended rule. Okay, now this is where I will write the extended rule. Okay, and not on begin, I have to write it on the on end, right? So because first segment, when your first segment will be processed, right, your on begin will be executed when your translator is at the start of your segment, but it hasn't processed the segment yet, or uh, hasn't assigned the values from the from the input file to the your segment variables in the memory. Okay, so on begin, I do not want to do it. I want to do it. I want to perform this activity on end, right? So on end will be executed when your translator has been processed a particular segment, right? It has read these values from the input file and has assigned in the memory on these fields of this user segment. Now it will, at the end, after processing this entire segment, it will run on end, right? So when on end will run, I know that my variables in the memory has all the values. It has user1, it has j1 j, it has this timestamp, it has last name Fisher, and things like that. Okay, so here what I have to do is I have to now write a extended rule to assign the values in my temporary fields. Now you see how we do this. Okay, so every concept is same as we have discussed, right? So I will use temp underscore user, and I think u will be small, user c. Name of variable is c, right? The counter variable that we created, yeah, c for counter, c dot, right? So I explained you, right, when you write the extended rule, you have to use the record or group name uh, on which your field belongs to. So I want to assign a value, right, on the name field, and the name field, because belongs to this record, temp underscore user record, so I have to write it. I have to use that dollar temp underscore user. Why dollar temp underscore user? Because temp underscore user is the segment or record where name field is name field belongs to, right? So I have to do like this: name, name colon 2. See, one more thing: when I copied this field from the user to the temp underscore user, my map editor has named it as name colon 2. This is still temporary field, but it has been named as name colon 2. If I will say name, then it will be conflict in your uh, map editor, right? So I will go here again. I will finish my extended rule. Okay, so what value I want to assign here? Temp underscore user c dot dollar name equals to name. Temp underscore user c dot last name colon 2 equal to last name. Oh, sorry. Okay, so when this statement, how this statement will be executed, right? So what value will be assigned by hash name? So see, when first record will be processed by your translator, right, it will first run the on begin on this segment. Then it will read the values from the input file and assign the values from the input file to these fields in the memory. So in your memory, it will create a variable called the name, right? It will create a bucket called the name, and it will assign value j, right? And then similarly, in another bucket, this current date time will be assigned. In the next bucket, Fisher will be assigned, right? And at the end, I will translator will process on and extended rule, right? Now when on and extended rule will be processed, I am asking it to assign the value of name variable or name bucket in this temp record, right? Similarly, last name, value of last name should go in the temp c last name. Okay, and when first time this statement will be executed, value of c will be 1, because this is how we have initialized it, right? Now, okay, I will be doing one more thing like this: c equals to c plus 1 at the end. Okay, it means I at the end I will increment the value of c. So value of c will be 2 from 1, right? When your translator will process the second record, right, what will happen? This time it will again run the on begin extended rule on this user segment, right? And then it will assign these values. Which values? Second segment values in the buckets. Call the name bucket, call the name, value of Kapil will go there. Then this timestamp will go in the last name. Then the Kumar value will go in the bucket called the last name, right? So this time when on and will run, the name will be Kapil, not the J, right? Because this is the second iteration, right? So this time I will I will use the second segment, right? That is because why it will be second segment, because value of c has been changed from 1 to 2. So I am saying on the second array, right, on the array that is pointed by the temp user, go to the second field, right? On that second field there is another array, right, which has a variable called the name. So in the second array, on the name field, assign the value of name. Okay, so I hope I have explained this thing already to you. So this is how it will work. So last name, then you have age colon 2 age, right? Account number, number. Okay, so this is how you will access the account number, right? Next, now if you see contact number, that you see here, contact number is a composite element. Now I will show you how to access the or how to loop the composite number. Now I will have two records, right? Mobile number and the office number. Okay, so we have to write another logic, some more logic here, to extract the values from both records, both composite elements, and assign it to temporary composite element. Okay, so how we will do this? You see here, I have to use a if condition. If type 1 equal to O, then begin number to 1 is equal to number. Okay, but I will read the first number. Okay, similarly type, right? So this is my if. else else begin and okay. So let me maximize it. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm just placing a logic so that I read both repeating composite element. Okay, both repeating composite elements means this one, and this is my second, and this is one composite element which is repeating, right? And this is one composite element. I want to read both, and I want to assign them back in the okay. Okay, so here I have to say 2. So this is, we have to read it. Okay, so I have two numbers and have two types. So I'm saying if type is O, then assign the value of type and number in the first uh, uh, number and type array, and if it's not O, it or if it's something else, right, then assign on the second array, right, which is your number 2, and the index is 2. See, I'm reading the second number, assigning it to the second number. I'm reading the second type and assigning it to the second type. Okay, now it says h22 is not a member. Right, see here. Okay, so this is my if else, right? So I'm using this if else so that I read both numbers, mobile number and office number. Got it? Okay, click on the save, right? Compile it. Okay, now let's run it once. This looks okay, and input X mode, yes. Right. Oh. Okay, so what we do not have? We do not have uh, contact numbers, right? So maybe something wrong in my condition. So let's check the extended rule here. We have O and M. Oh, this is small O or big O? Yes, right, this should work. Let me place it M here. If type 1, right, is M, then do this, right, else do this. Hmm. Hmm. This is right. Okay, contact number type is M. So first number is coming, first is being populated, then why second is not coming? Number two, hmm, I think it has some problem with the if condition. Okay, because of this, it's not able to compare it properly. Um, okay. Okay, so due to some reason the second value is not coming, but anyways, the point is what I'm trying to make here and what I'm trying to explain you. Extended rules that we learned in XML mapping, right? Those extended rules will be applied in any other file type in exactly same way as we have uh, understand and learn during our XML file type discussion. Okay, there is no change in writing the extended rule. Okay, you have to apply the extended rule in the same way. Okay, you have to apply the extended rule in, you have to write the extended rules in the same way, you have to use the same syntax and everything will remain same. Okay, now in this case if you see here, my temp variable has only one index. Okay, because it is directly under the root. But say suppose this temp was nested in other segment, right? It has a parent segment and then you have a child segment, then there's one more segment, so it has a three layers, right? And then you have this fields, right? then you simply will use the same rule as we did in the XML. We counted the number of fields, number of elements on top of our the element that we want to access, right? Here also we will count the number of segments, number of segment uh, under which our segment is um, our segment which contains the field belongs to, right? So in this case, if you see, we have only one segment and my field belongs to this segment, so that is the reason we have used only one index, right? If this segment was nested inside other segment, right, say suppose temp underscore user underscore 2, right, then I have to use the two indexes. Okay, and if I have one more nesting of this segment, say suppose you have temp underscore user 3, then temp underscore user 2, and inside that you have temp underscore user, then in that case I have to use the three indexes. Okay, so except that everything remains same, whatever we have learned so far, right? So you will be writing the extended rules in the EDI or any other file types in the same way you write in the XML. Okay, so except that everything remains same. Okay, so that's it.